Hello, 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 everyone. Conqueror, thank you very much for the check-in and the lurk. Let me grab this real quick. Turn down this music just a smidge. And in my own ear. There we go. I can hear myself think a little bit. How's everyone doing today? Sorry for being a little quiet. I have a little bit of a nasty headache and some neck pain right now. I have no idea why. I think just maybe some stress and anxiety have hit. But, you know, it's what it is. So yeah, we're just getting everything prepped here. I got some vaults to check on this character, and it looks like they just put out a new set of development notes on the latest PTR build. So I'm trying to find those real quick. All right, so we'll start with the vault stuff. Take care of this. Let's full screen this. Hello, everyone. I'll try to cut this out of the VOD later and turn it into a YouTube video. But we got our latest patch tuning stuff for PTR. I was in the middle of recording a warrior video when that went down. So we'll go, but I still have 2 more videos coming out, one tomorrow, one on Thursday, and then hopefully I can get the other one out on Friday. There'll be 3 videos in the next 3 days, all on the warrior class for those that are interested in that, because that is what I'm going to be making next season. So I like to do little prediction videos on it. So we will see how things go here. All right. So let's take a look at these class updates here. We'll start with Death Knight. Blood DK is getting an Apex talent update, which is making it so the damage taken for each active dancing rune weapon is reduced by 6%, up from 4%. So a little bit of a buff there. There's the flat melee damage increase, heart strike damage, marrow rend. Jesus, that's hard to say. Dancing rune weapon now increases parry by 30% instead of 25%. Perseverance of the Ebon Blade now reduces damage taken by 4% when consuming. Let me blow this up for you guys a little bit. Damage taken by 4% when consuming the Consurge, and duration was increased to 10 seconds, up from 6. Bloodshot now also reduces damage taken while Blood Shield is active. So from the base class changes, just a little bit of damage tuning to bring them up a little bit up to speed. So that's one thing that I've noticed in looking at a lot of the PTR data, is that almost every tank is way behind Death Knight right now, or Paladin right now, in terms of damage. So this is going to give, hopefully, all the other specs a little bit more of an opportunity to be brought up to speed. Especially when you have healers that are doing as much damage as tanks in single target situations, which is just not a good thing right now. Let me fix this over here, smidge. There we go. All right. Hero talent tuning for Blood DK, Reaper's Mark, and Exterminate are both getting buffs. And Sand Lane is now seeing physical damage reduction increase taken on Blood-Soaked Ground from 5 to 8. Blood Beast auto attack damage is increased by 1400%. I don't know if that's the right number, but sure, we'll run with it. Back to the Sand Lane is now 15% of all shadow damage dealt instead of 10, and then Vampiric Strike damage increases. Just like straight up damage increases across the board for Blood DK, with some minor defensive benefits in the Apex talent, and your Perseverance of the Ebon Blade and your Dancing Rune Weapon cooldown is going to be a little bit more powerful. Unholy DK is seeing a graveyard damage increase from its Forbidden Knowledge Apex talents by 15%. Epidemic is getting a big damage increase by 75%. Plague damage by 50%. Putrefy increased by 35%. So they nerfed Unholy DK pretty hard a couple of builds ago, and it's really fallen off the map. Like they probably over nerfed it. So this is just a little edge tuning to try and get them back into a spot where I think they're going to be okay, but maybe not be dominant. The big thing that I know a lot of people are concerned about is DPS DK going to be Mythic Plus, Mythic Plus meta for like the 3rd or 4th straight season? Answer is probably Frost DK, because it's looking very strong, but Unholy I think is probably seen its time, and it's going to be more average now, I think, in the grand scheme of things. There probably is some builds and setups that it'll be really good in, but it's going to require like high levels of coordination, MDI type stuff, and probably not just generically good like it is right now on live. And they also saw the same DPS buffs that Sand Lane did. Alright, Devour Demon Hunter is getting a collapsing star damage and an eradicate damage increase. I think that's fine. They're starting to fall behind a little bit in AoE. Collapsing Star is starting to see less and less, especially with some Scarred playstyles starting to work their way into the fold. People are testing out some Scarred playstyles that are really good. One of them actually completely forgoes Collapsing Star, but now with this damage buff, it's possible that that build kind of either dies away or you just take the Collapsing Star and roll with it. Then Annihilator is seeing a small damage nerf against single targets from 35 to 30 on the Collapsing Star and Voidfall Meteor. So, trying to buff a little bit of their AoE damage, but nerf their single target a little bit, because Eradicate is AoE, Collapsing Star obviously smashes in AoE. So I think overall probably not a terrible set of changes, but definitely ones that, again, just little margin stuff. Alright, Havoc. All damage increased by 5%. I think this was the exact type of nerf that they took last build, so they just kind of reverted that nerf. But they reduced Immo Aura, and Essence Break's initial damage got a buff itself. The 4-set bonus now increases Essence Break damage by another 35%. And then they are changing some small adjustments to Fury generation to give it a slight bump, but makes it more smooth, and then rely less heavily on Immolation's Aura talent effects. So Burning Hatred causes it did not generate 30 instead of 40 Fury, but Demon Blades now generates 10 to 16 Fury per stack versus 8 to 15 per stack. So putting more into like your basic auto attacks and less on your Immolation Aura, which is probably fine overall. It's probably going to make it a little bit better, and it increases the value of haste slightly for Demon Hunters, who are kind of a spec right now that doesn't really like a lot of haste, but it does increase the value of haste very slightly. And then Vengeance just gets a 5.5 damage % buff increase. Again, I think this is targeting a lot of stuff where they just are starting to fall behind. Demon Hunter still has some RNG defensiveness issues with it because of its Apex talent, and I still think it relies a little overly heavily on Annihilator. But overall, I think Vengeance, there's some rumblings that Vengeance could find its way into some Wizard comps with Devourer not being as overly strong as it used to be, where you could run like a heavy, I've heard rumors of like a Mage Shadow Priest Boomkin DPS setup, very similar to what we had. I think it was in season 1 of War Within. I think that was one of the big comps, or that or season 2, one of the two, where you just ran that Mega Wizard Cleave and then you have Vengeance Demon Hunter there to buff their damage. So we'll see, but I don't know exactly what that is. I'm playing Warrior, so I don't really care about Wizard comps for the most part. Balanced Druid is seeing an Apex talent buff on its final rank, getting a 15% damage buff to Solar Bolt. Stellar Amp is now applied only to one target. A couple of bug fixes on the Full Moon, all not doing as much damage as you should have when it's launched by Orbit Breaker, and some cooldown manager stuff as well. Elun's Chosen, they are nerfing Star Cascade. It's now launching at 30% chance at 50% effectiveness versus 40 and 70, because they are spending more and more builders now, which, you know, with builders with Balanced Druid is more Wrath, more Starfire. So they're just touching that a little bit because they felt like it was doing a little bit too much. And then Keeper of the Grove sees a Dream Burst damage increase in Power of Nature, buffing your Treant melee damage by a significant number, by 100% more, from 300 up to 300 from 200. So overall, probably just, again, little marginal tuning on the edges, which means they're pretty happy with where Balanced Druid is sitting. Same thing with all these other specs so far. Nothing that's major in terms of anything. They're just kind of buffing on the edges, which tells me they are pretty much going to go, they're going to make these changes, see how they roll, and then we're probably getting an announcement in the next couple of days about the release date. All ability and pet. Oh, Feral Druid. Sorry, Ferals. Your rapid ferocity damage is increased by 25%. That's very, very minor overall, I think. So not a huge deal. Augmentation Evoker, all ability and pet damage is increased by 3%. And then the Midnight Season 1 2-set bonus no longer increases the duration that Eruption extends Ebon Mites. So it's basically making it so that you want to run your new tier set. Wing Leader in the Scale Commander tree now reduces the cooldown of Breath of Eons by 1.5 seconds per target versus 1 second. I still have the same fundamental problem with Scale Commander for AUG that I do for Devastation, which is that they rely way too heavily on Deep Breath. And in this case, Breath of Eons. Now, Breath of Eons less so because it's still a 2-minute cooldown roughly when it's all said and done, whereas Scale Commander is like a 45-second cooldown. I've crashed out enough about Devastation Evoker. This class, the only spec that's not completely dead on arrival in this patch, in my opinion, is Preservation. And even Preservation is probably only in Raid. Alright, so they're basically reverting the Hunter's Mark issue. They tried to make it so that it casted on multiple targets, but it was causing more problems than it was solving, so they just are reverting the change back now and are like, okay, what can we do to make their quote-unquote raid buff viable again? Along with Death Grip are the only buffs that get applied manually during combat. Like, you have to go out of your way to push a button to do it. Things like Chaos Brand and Mystic Touch you just do as part of your normal rotation, so it's not a big deal. But like, these two buffs are ones that like you have to actually physically press a button during combat in order to make it effective. It's always made them a little bit weird. I don't even consider Raid Grip a debuff, frankly, or Grip a raid buff, frankly. So it's a little bit weird for that. I'm still only basically applying Hunter's Mark to bosses as I'm running up to them. When I play Hunter, even I like trash mobs, I just, unless there's like one huge funnel target, I just don't care. Alright, Beast Mastery getting a buff to Beast Cleave. It's now doing 55% of the damage dealt versus 40. So a nice little AoE buff to BM, which is continuing to show itself as a very consistent spec overall. You know, living up to its long term. Forgot what I was saying, but it's always been a very consistent damage spec, and it continues to be that. Windrunner Quiver has been designed. Rapid fire damage increased by 10%, and rapid fire has a 30% chance to grant the lock and load effect. Interesting. Incendiary ammunitions be redesigned. Explosive shot does now guarantee a chance to grant the lock and load effect. All ability damage and auto shot damage is increased. Multi-shot damage was reduced. It's interesting. I mean, multi-shot really is just there to do a buff maintenance thing. And then a few bug fixes where Small Game Hunter didn't increase damage. The area damage of Explosive Shot was benefiting from mastery damage bonuses and taking aim twice instead of once. And fixed an issue where Explosive Shot would potentially not deal area damage if its primary target died from Explosive Shot. I actually saw that even on the target dummies, which was funny. Survival, Grenade Juggler has been slightly redesigned. Boomstick increases the cooldown recovery rate of Wildfire Bomb by 60% for 8 seconds. Shells now calls Boomstick to reduce the cooldown of Bomb by 3 seconds instead of 5 seconds. Probably because of the Grenade Juggler change. And then they had a couple of issues where, again, abilities were benefiting from certain talents twice. And then Open Fire has been redesigned to just increase fire damage by a flat 5%. So overall, again, marginal changes along the edges for all three of these specs, which tells me they're pretty happy with where they're sitting. Survival, I'm very curious about, because I do think that we're going to see a return of the two-handed meta for survival, although I do think Dual Wield Pack Leader still has some very valuable routes and pathing that it can take to stay relevant. But I think particularly in AoE situations, you're probably going to see a return of Sentinel Survival two-handed because of all the Wildfire Bomb implications and stuff like that, and how good an AoE it is. But I still think Pack Leader has some real true value in pure single target situations. So Survival Hunters, you may have to craft 3 weapons or some bullshit like that this season, because that's just where you are right now. That's what happens when you have multiple weapon types that you can use. For MM, I think this is just going to, again, clean up a little bit of stuff on the margins. I don't think it changes anything. I still think you're running almost pure Dark Ranger in this build. You're not going to be playing Sentinel at all, which sucks, because actually, again, I like Sentinel almost more than I like Dark Ranger, even though MM is this spec that closely most closely resembles Dark Ranger in terms of its fantasy. So, fantastic. And then BM, like I said, it's just a little bit of an AoE buff, but I think BM is in a pretty good spot. There's a pack leader build that I think is still floating out around there that I really want to try out. I probably should try out on PTR. We'll see. Arcane Mage is getting a slight damage reduction in its Apex talent, reduced 20% on the Prismatic Bolt. And Sun Fury's now getting Glorious Incandescence on 6 stacks. Was at 6 stacks, now is at every 5 stacks to summon that meteorite. Protection Paladin. Protection's Reflections of Radiance chance to activate has been reduced, and then they got some bug fixes where Sentinel stacks were decaying too quickly. Quickened Invocation was correctly reducing the cooldown of Holy Armaments, where abilities that knocked enemies into the air would cause Glory of the Vanguard to deal damage additional times. That is a weird bug that happened. That apparently was happening. And then we're casting Hammer of Light in between direct cast of Consecration could allow Consecration to exceed its limit. Those are some very interesting bugs. Rhett's getting an AoE damage boost with Divine Storm. Nothing for Holy Paladins. Sorry, guys. I know you guys are like bleeding, basically. Assassination Rogue's getting just an aura buff of 6%. Its Apex talent's getting it buffed to another 15% on Implacable Strike. And Venomous Abyss, the 4-set bonus, is increasing its melee damage of Amplifying Poison to 3% per stack instead of 2. Outlaw's also getting an aura buff, with Audacity increasing the damage of Amplish by 80% instead of 60%, probably making that talent mandatory again. And then Summarily Dispatch increases dispatch damage by 15 and 30% instead of 10 to 20. So putting a little power into a spender that is not primarily used, because Between the Eyes is so fucking valuable. And then coming out of stealth, you're going to do a little bit more damage, and then you're just getting flat damage across the board. Again, little edge case, on the edge, marginal tuning. For Rogue, Subtlety is also seeing a small change. Gormaw's Bite is getting damage increased by 125, bleed damage increased by 125, and the mirror damage from finishing moves is increased to 20% from 10%. So, we'll see. Alright, Resto Shaman. They're adjusting several talents and doing some tuning for Resto Shaman to improve several underperforming talents. Interactions that don't feel very rewarding. We're also improving the chain heal ability from the Farseer ancestors to increase their healing capabilities. So there's a new talent called Swelling Tides, which makes Healing Stream Totem and Storm Stream Totem extend the duration of your active Riptides by 3% when it is cast. Unleashed Life Healing is increased by 100%. Midnight's Season 1 bonus has basically been nerfed to encourage people to actually take it. Riptide Direct Healing is increased by 25%, and its Periodic Healing was increased by 100%. Cool. Kind of your main bread and butter ability, so getting a buff on that is nice. Healing Rain now heals up to 6 targets in his area, was 5. That's really interesting considering how powerful Healing Rain already is for this spec with the tier set bonus. Earthen Accord now grants an additional 20% to the healing buff from Unleashed Life rather than a multiplicative increase. That's interesting. I'll have to talk to some Resto Shaman experts on that. Current Control now reduces the mana cost of Chain Heal by 15%. That's quite nice. And then they did some small adjustments to the 4-set bonus, which makes the bonus Healing Rain last a little less time. And it was the Condensation Absorb amount reduced by 30%. So there's a lot of power inside this tier set for Resto Shamans. That's now been shifted a little bit out and hopefully into other things. And go from there. Let's see, Wave Speaker's Blessing has been moved up into the talent tree to where Calm Waters was, and Calm Waters has been removed. Again, I'll talk to some Resto Shaman experts and see what they think about that. And then for Farseer, we're getting the Chain Heal from Farseer Ancestors bounces to 5 targets from 3, losing only 10% of healing per jump instead of 30%. And the jump distance was increased by 5 yards, and then just a flat healing increase by 50%. So probably makes Farseer a little bit better right now. Totemic was kind of like, probably going to be like a 99.9% pick rate just because it is so damn good. But it is one that is out there in terms of doing a lot of work. So hopefully we'll see some Farseer play. I actually kind of like the idea of Farseer, calling upon your ancestors and stuff like that to help you and assist you. But right now I know Totemic is still just crazy good. Alright, Affliction Lock. Nocturnal Yield does not offer much choice when it comes to how Warlock chooses to spend their Nightfall. That is usually best spent on Seed of Corruption, regardless of target count. This can have adverse effects on talents that benefit from Shadow Bolt or Drained Soul. We like the feeling of occasional free Seeds of Corruption, though, and are merging that functionality into Sharding Stability. With some Nocturnal Yield, we're introducing a new talent called Impetuous Wrath. It will serve as another means of Affliction accessing additional prio damage. So Shadow Bolt, Drained Soul, Malefic Grasp damage increased by 10 or 20% if the target is affected by Haunt. Dark Harvest damage increased by 10 or 20% if the target is affected by Haunt. So basically, I actually really like this talent because it gives Affliction a little bit of a damage profile now. It's good, like it can obviously do good in Spread Cleave, because it's always been good in Spread Cleave. But it also now gives like a chance to have some funnel damage, which funnel damage has really fallen off in terms of value over the last couple of tiers. It used to be like really good. Arcane Mage, Havoc Demon Hunter, obviously both were the like peak of funnel damage at the end of War Within. But so far in Midnight, funnel damage has had almost no priority at all, whether in Raid or Mythic Plus. Now, between some fight design stuff and some of the mobs that I've seen changed in a lot of these dungeons, funnel might actually have a little bit of room to flourish, which I don't think is a bad thing. And we're seeing a few more specs starting to gain the ability to funnel into that. Havoc doesn't really have it because you're not playing Eldrazi Reaver. Like, you just don't simply have the talent points to even make the build work with what you need to grab out of the talent tree. Still grab your Apex talent and still have everything you want or need in order to make the build function purely. So that really leaves Arcane Mage is really your only true funnel spec. A little bit of Survival Hunter, but I think it's going to be a little less so now with the Bomb Sentinel build being more prevalent, in my opinion. So Affliction Warlock, I think, is a good target for that. It gives it a little bit of a more clear design. Destruction is really good on 2-target spread with big nukes, and Destruction also really good in mass AoE with Rain of Fire. Demonology really good in stacked cleave situations, consistent stacked cleave damage. Affliction really just had like spread cleave and that was it, but now it also has a little bit of funnel ability with this new talent. Shard Instability makes it so that damage dealt by your Drained Soul or Shadow Bolt to now make your next UA or Seed of Corruption calls no shards cast instantly. Okay. Demonology seeing Diabolist nerfs to try and hopefully make it not 99% pick rate again. So Chaos Salvo, Felseeker with Cleave, Eye Explosion, and Flames of Zoroth are all seeing nerfs across the board. So that probably helps Soul Harvester a lot. I don't know if it makes it an actual pick, but at least it will. But at least it'll make it like a more compelling option, right? All right, and my baby, Arms Warrior. So their AoE damage profile is dominated by Cleave. We'd like to spread damage across more abilities. We're updating Dreadnought to be purely AoE, which will allow us to tune it solely for AoE. This should help Arms AoE rotation feel not so dominated by Cleave and to help give Slayer better options for AoE. So Dreadnought has been updated. It no longer damages your overpowered target. Okay, I like that. And then the damage flat out has been increased by 100%. Cleave just gets a damage reduction by 10%. Again, I'm okay with that. The 2-piece bonus. So we've been actually wondering about this. This has been a conversation in the Arms Discord for a while, where it does the 2-set bonus where you get Concussive Slam, which makes it so that you will slam and it will splash out onto 8 targets. It was applying an ability called Deep Wounds, which is like a huge part of our damage profile. Or it's become a huge part of our damage profile because it was applying to this. They've not basically, and we've been like, is this intended or is it not? Like, we don't know. Can you help us out, Blizzard? Like, can you explain it? What's your design intention with it? Well, now they've made that pretty clear, basically by bug fixing it to where it's no longer triggering mortal wounds, which means we're going to have to potentially use things like Mortal Strike again in the rotation in order to spread that deep wounds onto as many targets as possible. Slayer is getting a little bit of a opportunist buff to give 20% damage and 20% crit damage to your next overpower instead of 10% for both. So overall, I actually think these changes are pretty solid for Arms Warriors. It kind of cleans up some damage profile stuff that we were worried about, without actually like nerfing the spec in a way that we feel like is going to be like, you know, useless. I think is the best word to describe it. I was trying to think of the word for it, but the answer basically is just we don't want it to be useless anymore. Oh shit. Hang on. Click something. Hi, Ophi. My friend Ophi. I'll cut that out. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. accidentally clicked on a link that was sent to me, and I shouldn't have. But I think this kind of touches it in a way that I think is a lot more delicate, where it's going to keep the spec, I think, still pretty strong, but it's not going to be like oppressively strong. I still don't think it makes it weaker, so to the point that Fury now starts to take over, even with the buffs that they're getting here, with Rampage and Ruin being increased, and then Mountain Bane getting a damage buff as well. I don't think that that makes Fury poor, but I do think that it does make ARMS a little bit more reliable. And like I said, this does clean up some damage profile stuff. And this in particular is going to, I think, have the biggest impact. So I'll have to see how that's going to impact rotation. Talked about the Fury changes, marginal stuff. I think they're pretty happy with where Fury's at from the damage numbers and sims and some testing that I've done on PTR. It's been fine. I don't think it's going to blow anyone out of the water, but I don't think that it's going to be an active hindrance in the event that you are playing it. If you desire to play it, like if you want to play Fury, I think you are going to be fully capable of playing Fury. So not many other people are going to be playing Fury. I think a lot of people are still going to trend to ARMS. And the protection's getting an ability damage increase, revenge damage increase, and then getting that same Thunder Blast damage increase in Mountain Thane. So just a little thing on Protection Warrior. Protection Warrior I'm a little worried about, because between obviously these damage bonuses, I think their general buffs that they got to like their absorbs and their healing probably, I think, was a little bit under, in my opinion. And then they randomly got a defensive stance bonus that makes it now 6% instead of 4%, which always worries me, because if like Prot Warrior, like their niche in the tanking world has always been they're the absolute best tank against melee white hits. If they're not even the best against that, then they don't really ever find a place anywhere, and they just kind of feel like they're stuck doing nothing. So I'm a little worried about where it's going to fit. I don't think it's going to be the worst tank, because I still think that but it has a chance to be, because I think Vengeance is slowly getting some rumblings that it could be pretty good. Bear's new Apex talent, we'll see. Ultimately, we'll just need a lot more to kind of see how it plays out. And then we'll need to see how the hang on. Last second updates from the ARMS Discord. Looks like there's some undocumented stuff that they caught in the data mining. Executioner Slayer has increased from 3 to 5 max stacks, and Frenzy from Fury has an increase from 4 to 10 maximum stacks. Okay, so let me explain those changes. So the way that certain buffs in this game work is that Iron Fur is probably the best defensive example of this, but Executioner and Frenzy both are good DPS examples of this. So what happens is that when you I'll use Iron Fur because it's the one the easiest to explain. It's a button that you push. So when you push Iron Fur, you gain a defensive benefit of extra armor. And that Iron Fur that you press has a duration of, I think, 8 seconds in Guardian Druid. During that time, if you press Iron Fur again, you don't actually reset that stack of Iron Fur's duration. You add a second stack that has its own 8-second duration. So what happens is that as you're going through a fight, you can stack like 4 or 5 Iron Furs up and then kind of ignore it maybe for a little bit until you're down to like 1 or 2 stacks again, and then you start pushing Iron Fur again. In the meantime, you dump your rage into something else. So, but the thing is the stack cap on Iron Fur is like 50. So it was never an issue to where you would ever get to like the quote unquote max stacks of something like Iron Fur. Executioner in the Slayer tree and Frenzy as well, they had much smaller stacks. So they had a 3-stack max and a 4-stack max. And when you would proc your Executioner buff in ARMS in particular, you would get that stack and then it would have its own individual, I think, 10-second duration. You get it a second time, another one would come up, and then a third time. But what's happened is that sometimes you would just roll RNG high and you would get a 4th stack. But what would happen is that because there's no new buff to get, it would actually just rip a application that you have off early. It was basically making it so that the time that was on one of the stacks would get cut in half, essentially roughly cut in half. It's a little more complex than that, but just to give you an idea. So anytime if you didn't spend your executioner stacks in the right way, and you had to track this very tightly in order to do that, you were actually just losing duration on them when you would proc more stacks. So what they did is they increased it another 2 and another 6 on Frenzy, because you stack that very quickly, so that it tries to remove that gap while making it to a point where you're probably not ever going to get to that max cap number, which tells me they can't fix the time duration thing. So they're compensating by just increasing the total stack count that you can get, kind of knowing that you're not ever really going to be able to actually hopefully hit those numbers outside of like some severe situations, like a PI bloodlust situation for arms, for example. So little undocumented change right there at the end of things. That's always interesting. So yeah, I think that's quite a nice quality of life change for Arms and Fury. It's not a buff in any sort of fashion. It's just probably a very minor buff because you're not losing duration on those stacks in a way that's not intended. But I think overall for like most warriors, it's not going to matter. But it is a very nice quality of life thing, and it probably fixes a couple of things that kind of plague the spec a little bit that typically aren't beneficial to it all. So yeah, interesting changes there overall. We'll check that out. Say hi to YouTube there, Twitch chat, and I'll get this cut from the VOD and put up on YouTube here shortly. So we'll go from there. So for those on YouTube, until the next video, hope you stay safe, hope you enjoy yourself, having fun, you keep on gaming, and we'll see you next time. For those that are here on stream, let's actually log in, huh? All right, so we got some vaults that we got to do here. I'm probably going to go on a little bit of a rant about what they're doing to the Great Vault, because I don't know if it's actually going to be beneficial or not. I think for like high-end players, it kind of silos them. Into a certain gearing path, which I don't think is necessarily good. And then for most more casual players, it's a system that's a little bit confusing. So I kind of want to sit down and talk about that, but I have to get my thoughts organized on that first. Ads are starting up in about 3 minutes for those that are not subscribed to the channel. Okay, I'm going to say 10 item level upgrade, so it's going to be worth taking. 12 Zeniths, all right. Not bad for the Evoker. I mean, we'll take a little level upgrade. I basically played that character for some break the meta keys last week, just trying to help some friends out, get their little banner from the event that went on last week. Alright. So I did some LFR. I did a normal raid on this character as well. So just helped out the dojo on this character since we didn't have I didn't know we had at the time we didn't have a warlock. We had a couple of mages. So I was like, oh, let me bring the soul stones and stuff like that for these folks. It's a little fun to play like a caster. It was kind of boring. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so melee brain that it doesn't matter. Take those. Those are a nice 36 item level upgrade. Pretty good stats with indestructible on it, which is, I mean, not completely relevant, but here we are. So not bad for just doing a quick little raid run where we did a Void Spire skip and March. Did I do do anything on my mage last week? I don't remember. I don't remember if I did anything on my mage or not. Oh, only one way to find out. All right, so ad break is ongoing for those that are not subscribed, but let's go check. I don't even remember. I did not. Okay, it's fine. Grab the hunter, who I did do some keys on because I was doing quite a bit of break the meta stuff on stream obviously last week. Not that this character needs much in the way of things, but rain likely to start soon. No shit. Weather, like fucking tropical storm is like 40 miles off the coast, I think now. Let's find out. Tab for any videos that starts. Let's see. Yeah, she's like 30 miles directly south of me. She's more turning west now than anything else, but as she continues to go west, she's gonna whip those rain bands around. Because like this storm is really weird. So let me show you this real quick. Sorry about the flashbang, but I'm gonna show you this real quick. So the way that this storm works, and the way it's gonna operate. So like right here, let's just say this is the land where I'm at. We're gonna make your storm red. So we're gonna put the eye of the storm right here. But what's happening is that here, let me come down here. I'm gonna paint like a generic storm. So what happens generally is that you have a generic storm where like that's the eye. And then what happens is that all the rain bands are around with them leaning a little bit more wide on the eastern side of a storm. Okay. This is how hurricanes function in the Gulf, in the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. So the storms always sit a little lopsided to where, the eye of the storm is not it is considered the direct middle of the sword, but because of the way the jet streams work, the worst of the storm is always on the east side. So it's always this over here, like right in here is usually where the worst of the storm is at. That's where the heaviest winds are at. That's where the heaviest tornado output usually comes from. It's where the heaviest rain is at. The trick about a hurricane is that there are two places that you want to be hit. You either want to be directly in the path of the eye, where the eye wall is a little nasty, but then when the eye is out, it actually is a completely beautiful day, or night if it happens in the middle of the night. I've been through both. Or you want to be hit on the west side of the storm because things are smaller there. You're just not going to get smashed through enough as severely as you would on the east. If you're in the eastern side of the storm, that's generally, especially as the hurricane gets stronger, that's generally what happens is like the worst place to be. Um, you know, if like a category 5 came here and it was hitting just to the west of me, like if it was hitting a city that's about an hour or so west of me, there's a good chance I'm out of here, boys. I'm packing up my shit and I'm driving somewhere north. I'm going to stay in a hotel for a couple of nights. Because that's where the most opportunity for weather that will literally destroy homes is coming from. This storm is a little bit different in that what's happening is that it's like this little rain band and then everything is down here. Because what it's doing is it's traveling in that direction. So it's coming up north and it's come north and now it's getting pushed by the jet streams and stuff like that. It's getting pushed west. But what's going to happen is that these storm bands are going to swing around like this. So this storm is still going to go a little bit north. I mean, technically speaking, this storm is going like a little bit more northwest. So as it gets closer, all these storms that are on the south side, as it goes west, these storms are going to get pushed. Because what's going to happen is you're going to see like this little bit of oil brush. So what's going to happen is as the storm goes this way, because of the way the jet currents work, there's stuff pushing on this. So it's going to swing this around to the opposite side. So it's going to come around like this. So as it continues to travel northwest, what it's probably going to do, let me make this line black, is that it's going to come more like this. It's going to swing like this. It's going to come just a little bit more north and then start heading west, where it's going to start to run into more like Louisiana, you know, western or eastern side of Texas. But because of the combination of it swinging this way and it's basically trying to swing its fat dumpy, it's going to swing around and all that rain is going to start to trail it on this side and then come north, you know, and then swing onto more the northern side. Now, I'm not getting directly impacted by this, but what's going to happen is that, like, if let's just say, again, using this as an example, I live here. Say I live there, and let's make this star orange. If I live here, what's going to happen is that these storms are going to swing up and they're going to do like this to me. Even though the eye itself is never actually going to hit the coast. Like the eye is always going to be off the coast. So that's what's going to happen with this storm. It's a little bit weird, a little bit unique in how that functions. But that's what we're expecting. Now, it's not going to be necessarily that direct or anything of that nature, but it is going to be something where because of the way that, you know, basically it's physics, right? Momentum swinging on that. That's why I'm going to get hit with rain bands, even without being in the direct line of fire of the storm, so to speak. So now it's just a tropical storm strength energy, so it's going to be, you know, 50, 55 miles an hour winds at the most, I think, right now. So it's not ultimately going to be like a deal at all, frankly. In the grand scheme of things, like I've been through, I mean, I've had weekday storms that have been just as strong sometimes. It's not to say I'm not taking it seriously. I'm obviously keeping a very close eye on things of that nature, but I am not as concerned about it, you know, as potentially could have been. If it had gone even more north or just barreled directly into me, then, you know, probably would have sucked. I probably would have canceled streams because I knew I wasn't going to be able to necessarily keep power or anything like that. Even though I'm going to get some rain tonight and it's probably going to suck, and I'm going to watch obviously what's going on with like potential power outages. I don't expect to lose power. Ultimately, it's just going to be a really, really shitty storm. That's probably going to keep me up for a few hours tonight. So, yeah. Weird meteorology with Works is probably only halfway accurate 101. I've seen a lot of people doing Buldak noodle challenges. It's really funny to me. Alright, let's go see my Uncle Iroh impression, by the way, for those that aren't aware. I'm a huge Avatar The Last Airbender fan. I love that show. I've been watching it with my son lately. And thanks to fucking social media, I was reminded today that 20 years ago today, the original voice actor for Uncle Iroh, who's my favorite character, one of my favorite characters of all time, the voice actor for Iroh passed away on this day 20 years ago. The last thing that he recorded was the song. One of the last things that he recorded was the song "Leaves from the Vine." In kind of it ended up being what we thought was a filler episode, I think during season 2. And it turned out to be one of the most emotional moments in the show because Mako had passed away by the time that show had aired. Like, he recorded stuff for it, but then none of the animating and editing had been done on none of the animation had been done on that. So in the scene, he's basically let me do this. Let me run this sim real quick while I'm talking about this. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with sim here. Let's just max all for this. So I'm gonna do I'm just gonna select this. I'm gonna select this and upgrade it to 289, and then take that and upgrade it to Void Forged, and then remove this. Basically, I'm gonna look and see if this this thing is actually worth the shit. Shouldn't take too long to do that. And then I'm gonna run another sim because I need to see if that 298 weapon is actually worth it for me. Oh, I need to wear the helmet, sure. Alright, so that trinket is not an upgrade for me. That's fine. Okay, so it is a very minor DPS upgrade for me. All right. Probably not worth losing the enhancement trinket over, but, you know, we'll roll with it. All right, let me get out of this mog. Let me go back into El Heritage armor real quick, and then I will go grab my gold. I don't think I have. No, I can put a gem inside this helm. So I'll do that. I'll put a Crypt Master gem inside this helm. Actually, I don't have enough to do it. Cool. I don't think I do. Oh, not. All right. Well, I'll just have to be a next week thing, I guess. As I continue to push a little bit on this character. Alright, and then we'll grab the Demon Hunter, which I think I only did 1 or 2 keys on. So I probably am getting nothing here, but that's fine. Fun stuff. Alright, so yeah. Knew I was gonna get coins on this character. We'll also get this character out of Slutmog for the night. We'll put on this one in a while. We'll put on the standard uni. I believe that's the Warglaives of Azzinoth. Oh, the Fierce Fairly Brave. Okay. So I ate some popcorn chicken before getting on here. So, and I've been having some general issues with my stomach lately anyways, to be honest. I think I'm getting sick, unfortunately. Stupid, because I didn't even go anywhere this weekend. It was just me and my kid. I'm not gonna blame him if he got me something. He'll give me something. So, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I will crank up this music in your ears for a minute. Make sure I'm okay. So, BRB, sorry guys. back. Appreciate that. Sorry about that. I've been feeling all sorts of weird. Hey, Leshy. Sorry, I got a message I gotta answer here. Make sure everything's okay. Just a moment. Sorry. Muting the mic real quick. feeling something, it is generally important. So I need to make sure that I'm taking care of it. I'm sorry, I know I'm not doing a lot right now. I promise. Getting great invites going out. Work on it. But we'll be good. But I gotta make sure I handle this. This is important. Everyone's okay. I want to make that clear. Everyone's okay. I need to make sure that I'm on the same page with what's going on. everyone's fine, everything's good. But it was something that I couldn't ignore for 2 or 3 hours. It was just going to sit there and it was going to impact things. Why did I go there? It was going to impact things in ways that I don't think was going to be healthy anyways. So I went ahead and, despite the fact that I don't like doing it because I don't want to take away from stream, I do want to make sure that it was something that was addressed. Alright, let me jump in the Discord with the guild so we can get this boss killed tonight. Evening, everybody.
Hello.
Those are the finest. They're stuck in the wall like that. So anybody that comes down there and rides past them, it will be. They're still there. I don't think they're there.
I walked past it.
We're good. See what we did to them all.
Safe for re-entry.
Yeah.
Kill the boss tonight, huh?
I think that's everyone we got right now. Let's wait for those two to get here and then drop our stuff and get puffed up and ready to go.
It's a good night to kill the boss.
Yeah. No, we're at Sportfall.
Can I get a assist real quick, Sam?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. graphics card.
That's what I have?
Look at the lines, everything match up.
Oh, shit, I don't know these things. Oh. Wait, so what's the big green thing that I took a picture of then?
That's your graphics card.
Oh.
Okay. Organized groups here. So we have 11 DPS tonight. So group 2, you will kill the melee. The melee group, the Shroomlings group. And then group 3, you will kill the ranged group, and I'll be a floater in between. If someone goes down, I'll commit to a group. If not, I'll probably help the ranged group since it's all the spellcasters out there. I'll probably help the ranged group start too, because obviously the tanks will be there.
I think we're like 10 DPS.
Oh yeah, quick. Sorry. Works. Yeah. I'll start with the melee group and then go from there.
Let's go ahead and drop a feast. If somebody's got one. I'm making them right now. Fresh off the grill. Nice.
What we got for dinner today, Pops? Loco Moco?
Spam and liverwurst, sausage, pizza, fish, tacos.
You just like spout out just whatever the hell nastiness just comes into your head.
Slayer, have you ever listened to him? Why are you
Just
asking
for
me?
you, Slayer.
Ugh.
Just for you.
Sardine toaster strudels.
That's
Yeah.
nasty.
I'm in.
That sounds very Finnish.
Not until you're done with it.
Oh lord, this group. Hey Ewok. Alright, we're gonna let the ads run again. They're gonna start up in about 2.5 minutes, just FYI. And I apologize for being silent and not really doing much for so long, but I had to address it at the very least. Like I said, everything's good, everyone's fine, everyone's safe, but I had to address it.
So I hope you guys have your bonus rolls, because when we kill this thing, we can use it. And we have the ability to, we can run this multiple times and use bonus rolls each time, too, which is kind of nice. So it does not
Oh,
reset
I
like the
didn't
rest of
grab
the-
my bonus rolls.
Grab it quick if you have it.
Their bonus rolls and nebulous void doors.
Yeah, the nebulous. Yeah.
Summon me back in a minute.
You're saying this raid allows you to run it multiple times, and each time you'll get a
Same
bonus roll
week.
pop up? Oh, same week. Wow.
Same way, we could run it. We could run it 4 times tonight. You can bonus roll all 4 times if you have those chances.
Oh, we ain't doing it. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
just
you won't
saying,
get
I'm just giving
you won't
some-
get loot after the first kill, but you can bonus roll it multiple times.
Correct. So you could, since there's only a handful of items in the loot table, if you ran it that many times in a week, you technically could get all the items in the loot table. Correct. You had
But-
that many free rolls.
But only one roll on one kill. Yes.
Yes.
Whatever earlier, it's fine.
You know, how much fun
Thanks.
that was to write.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Clearly, I know everything about this computer.
I have 55 verse now, so it's fine. I get it.
Never mind, it's 0 again.
See, I thought the green thingy was the motherboard, so I'm all kinds of fucked up.
I don't know what graphics card that is. That's kind of interesting. That's a different one.
It says
Normally you have a key.
GeForce RTX on it.
Yeah. Usually they have fans on them to cool them. That thing has nothing.
Oh, they have 5 fans all around the outside.
Yeah, but usually the graphics card has fans on it. And a cooling block. Like,
Well,
how's
it's
the
got
thing
a,
not overheating?
it's liquid cool thing.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay. Okay, that explains
That
it.
way I have to have a fan on by my laptop.
Shit, whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
so grown. I moved it when I went to go to the bathroom. That's what it was. Hang on.
You still need a 7 farm, or you got it?
I'm here, bro.
Hi. Everybody, I'm getting ready to just everybody's here.
If you could
Talk to you real quick
now
about it.
use those terms
Live in an 800 square foot apartment.
things
You know, the fact that the
The green thingy?
Yep.
Okay.
coffee table in the living room is like 4 big steps away from where my
Another thing
computer
you can
desk is
have
at.
the white label thing.
But when I go to the bathroom, it's always so quick, even with washing my hands, because like it takes me like 8 steps to get to the bathroom.
He's getting
The
pictures of
picture
both.
All apartments for the win.
she sent me only had one, so
Pay more in money than I
Wait,
do square
there's more
footage.
than one?
I think I calculated. I pay something like
there's only
$1 and like 10 cents for every square foot of what my house is.
one. But then I was asking for it.
Whereas like
Or maybe you did. You did send me
I know my parents' mortgage costs because they told me they pay something like 20 cents
Yeah,
per square
that's the
foot
thing we're gonna
of their
Oh.
thing, and that's kind of like why the
Just like unscrew, screw back in kind of
housing market or the renting market sucks, because it's like you get like a 1,000 square foot apartment and you're paying $2 a square foot, where someone that owns a home is paying like significantly less than that.
Question regarding group 2 and what they're killing.
Yeah, so group 2, when he does the big explosion where we have to burst all the shrooms on their second life down so that we don't die. Group 2 will be the ones, you'll always get the group that's right underneath the boss with there, and I'll start there as well. And then group 3, you'll always turn around and get the ranged, the fungling group that's going to be, generally speaking, with our luck and the way it's been spawning for us the last couple of nights we've been on this, it spawns generally across the arena. Yeah, you're basically always going to stay on the boss unless like I call for it, but I'll be the main floater, and if not, then if I can't for whatever reason, then generally speaking, Lead has been helping out with that.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty good one.
Get more just muffled for me?
Everybody's ready, so here we go.
Over to Miller for a while. Appreciate that, Ewok. Their shrimlings will come underneath the reverse support cap. Funglings will try to keep away. Here in a second, I will, if you guys on the funglings can stack up, I'll drop your sigil. Your sigil's going down. I'll allow the melee to get a little bit of buff time. They'll stand near that white circle for the second one. Which DK is there? I saw one of you there. You'll get first kick. Slayer, grab second. Should we try to stack these up a little bit tighter?
There's one out here that's kind of far.
Yeah, we'll make note of
Yeah,
that.
it was chasing me while I was running vines out.
Alright, everyone stack up on X. We're gonna lay an AMZ while this fungal balloon goes out. It'll be Sam's. Go on defensive if you can. Funglings out. Grella.
There's a fungling in the group, and it's slowed.
That's the best I could do.
Okay, it went down. Okay, it died near where the second spawn is gonna be at. I've got shrimling, so I'll need someone to kick, cover kick the thing.
Got it.
I can't hit that. Okay. Oh, wow.
I got it.
I did it. Wings are really spread.
Be Zeus's AMZ, you stack up here. Do Zeus and Mortis's AMZs here. Double up on this one. One Torres.
Well, we can do it now.
Get him. By the vines, that's really unfortunate.
It's on a green thing too, which is horrible.
Yeah, set him up just in front of the vine if you can. If those that shroom is chasing them.
That's right.
There's a shrimling in the fungling group.
Misery out on the funglings. Cognizant, that's on you.
Cog, it's on you. Run to that in, please.
I got it.
It's fine. It's fine. It's right. They're right behind where you guys are standing. I'll kick and then I'll get out because I got a strong shot.
Runs in a few.
I put mine in the thing on me. And no. Please.
I got one shriveling up. There we go.
Good. All right. This will be Led's ANZ and my darkness. When I drop ANZ, I'll drop darkness inside of it. Darkness down inside.
That blew a bunch of people up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what happens if you don't get them stacked.
Yeah, we missed 2 in the range, but I think we also had 2 range people dead, so.
I died.
Yeah, it was just one on my melee group, but that, yeah.
We got that one killed. That was up against the wall. So
If keep in mind, if the boss is on one wall and the spore cap is on the other wall and you get vines, probably the safest place to run is the wall 90 degrees from center between the boss and the spore cap. Because Farm, you were out of range from me. Of course, I have like 30-yard range, but I imagine you were probably out of range of the other healers too.
Yeah, gotcha. I would have normally been fine, but I didn't realize all my defenses were going.
90 degrees.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had a mushroom on me, so I was stuck in melee, and you were on the range group against the firewall, so I couldn't get to you.
7 divided by 50.
Make sure we
Oh, you trying to do it too? Okay, good. I thought I was the only one.
just make sure we keep those stacks tight, guys. Like on both pulls tonight, we've had one that's been sitting out, kind of in its middle of nowhere. Now the one spore cap that spawned right on the vine, that was just fucking dumb. But both groups have had like pretty spread, so we want to make sure we're just packing those up a little bit tighter. Like I said, the melees on them don't hurt enough that if you're relatively close to where you're supposed to be, people will be healing you because you're stacked up with everyone. I'd rather you do that. And again, for ranged and healers, you're just gonna have to not see your character for a second if that's what it takes.
yeah, so if you got the flat mushroom caps, those you just stand on top of the tanks, and they'll all be right there underneath the boss. Nice. Alright, that was a good pull. I think we got a 27% on our first pull. That's pretty damn good. So, considering all the stuff we got going on.
73% better than not dead at all.
Ready checking.
Slightly alive.
Oh.
Is there more to that, or just? I think some people did Ventus. Quick asked about it earlier.
Advantage.
Hyper.
There we go.
Somebody please res Bruce Ree.
After this pull, Sam, Calic just messaged me, said his internet's working again, so we can bring him in if we need to.
Yes, please.
trying a little bit of a different setup for myself here, where I just focus mostly on boss damage and just let my bleed happen. Misery going down. Monty, if you can kick first on that since you're going to be over there. I have Shroomling, so I can't be over there to help. On that Fungling if we can. Good job.
Is this a stack moment?
Yep, stacking on for Sam's AMZ. I think our boss number's down like a little bit lower than what it was last week. By the door, one big move here. Cognition, you got Fungling out on you. Alright, gather these up. I'm gonna drop Misery on them. I'll kick first since I've got Fungling.
Try to get him a little tighter. Move the boss back and right just a little bit, Zeus.
This will be Zeus's AMZ. Drop of Zeus. Mortis yours as well. Drop your AMZ as well.
Quiet, nice.
Funglings come stack on me. Got the potion on cool and pull. It's fine. right here by us. Good. Works to get first kick since I'm here.
Alright, you have one mushroom cap on you.
Farm, come stand with us, please. Come stand over here.
Oh shit.
That's the mechanic every single fucking time it comes up. Jesus.
We have after this is racing.
You mean dead?
What happened there? I didn't even see it.
Just a lot of people dying. It's like there was a tick going on everybody that was really bad.
Yeah, that's the fight.
We were down a healer. That's probably why. That's
Yeah.
just unlucky.
I had no defenses. I got every single ad and every single puddle that entire fight.
Oh, did we have a bundling in there?
You said that we have one more person that can come, right?
Yeah, Kalik.
I got it.
I saw 186k fungal bloom in my recap.
Kalik, with you being group 2, you will always kill the pack on melee when we have to do the burn. Oh, that was between the two. I'll probably swap to helping the range group.
Fungal bloom is what?
It's the knockback damage.
I may have not been quite in the AMZ there.
Kyle. And we're at 25% that time.
Yeah, our DPS was in a good spot here. I'm looking at the numbers. I mean, I'm the lowest DPS, and that's the way it should be with me shotgun. Like that. Like this is how I want the DPS spread to always be, with me the lowest DPS when because I'm shotgunning. So that's the way it should be.
Alright, ready chicken. It's popping up on my screen. Somebody must have low item level. Let's be what it is. Alright, here we go. Not item level, repair. Just buckets of repair. I just can't
Well,
see who it is.
well, well.
It's not him.
Not it.
We didn't kill that time because I did potion on the whole. Yes.
There's
I got next kick. I got next kick.
Bungling in here.
why I didn't get the buff that. That's a weird little bug. I did not know that was a thing. Bailey's out there, please get first kick.
I got that Slayer, you got a bungling on you?
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I'm
lock
getting
it down.
She's getting there.
We got it, we got it.
Come up before that time. Can't get this off. I'll be up shortly after. Quickly stack up, Sam. Are you gonna be AMZing how? Like to be closer to 66% when we hit that first burn, but it is. Morty, she'll need to walk out, walk out. Stand out in the middle. It's gonna suck for your DPS uptime, but those guys out need to.
Hey, can you hear me?
Can now?
Now.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lightning strike. I'm booting back up right now.
You're gonna be super powered now.
Shrimlings underneath, please.
You died.
Sorry about that.
This guy's name has thrash.
Alright, let's wipe it up. Wipe it up, wipe it up, wipe it up, wipe it up.
Or an elemental shaman. We've got Cog.
To do what?
Pulls the leather.
Farmers are totally
Control lightning.
Hit it some more, it might work. Did you try the green thingy?
the green thingy. I don't have a green thingy.
No, yeah, push the thing with the white sticker on it.
Yeah, works every time.
Duh.
All good. God, we gotta wait on Sam to get loaded back in anyways.
Fucking Cog's a pirate.
You know, it's funny, the weather issue guy lives in an area that's not having a major weather issue right now. He's not in the Northeast, which is having those nasty storms, and he's not in the Gulf Coast, which is about to get hit by a tropical storm.
We just got heat.
Give it a couple days, and you might get the right.
My power went out earlier today. I actually didn't think it was going to come back on. The storm front only lasted about 2.5 minutes, but the rain was hitting my office window so hard I couldn't see anything out the window.
It sucked. That pull felt great too.
We were in a good spot, yeah. I mean, we were sitting at, I think, 68% or something like that after the burn. No, I think it turned west a little bit sooner than they expected, so we may not get much of it, but it's, most of the rain bands are still south of the eye. Swing around when it turns west.
It's not going to get bad here. It might get a little gusty later tonight, but that's about it.
We got tornado.
Yeah, and even though it's not like raining here right now, I wouldn't be surprised if my power went out again as they're working on power lines around the area.
Oh, it was hovering over an old thing. Okay.
We're here, Joel. What can you tell us of AH Mill?
Sure.
Thanks.
While we're waiting for Sam to come back, don't forget this is obviously the last week of raid. Next Tuesday will be the achievement run. I was trying to look at the achievements. I thought it was mostly just Voidspire. It's actually not. There's some stuff with Chimeras and Beleren and Midnight Falls and things like that. Although I love the name of the Midnight Falls achievement name. So I'll do some digging on that. I don't know if IAT still works. I don't think. I'll have to find out unless Quick knows, because I imagine Felix has done this already.
Yeah, what were you asking?
The achievement run. Does IAT still work, or is there another way you guys track that?
I don't think we used IAT. I think we just looked at the just use the what do you call it? Achievement thing, you know.
The achievement tracker?
Yeah, and it would like stuff. They did a pretty good job. Like stuff turns white or whatever when you're good to kill the boss, sort of thing. Good luck with the Chimeras one though. Oh my goodness.
I'm looking at that one actually right now.
That one was the one that we actually had to come back to it. And that one took us the longest.
There's too many idiots.
Yeah, people. You have to be able to walk and click a thing. So we had trouble with it.
And some of our people can't even walk and chew gum at the same time.
Wait, people can do that?
I can't.
It always ends up like in my shirt or something.
I like
that
it.
falls down in my shoe.
Some of you will like that too, but I actually liked it. But it took us a while because we had some people that were having trouble.
Yeah, I'll get some notes drawn up for it.
Try patting your head and rubbing your belly.
There's one that's
What was the name of the Midnight Falls one? I don't remember.
all the things she said. Yeah, the tattoo song name. Cowboy. Hog. Let's get Harley in.
You don't want to 5 heal it?
Let's try with this 4 healer setup with you and Og, buffing some Kalik and Glue and Newall and Lead and you know, the actual good damage dealers. That's not me. See what that does, and then if it's still feeling a little rough on the healers, we'll 5 heal at that point. But I want to see if this setup with you auging
I don't think
brings
that
the extra damage that we need.
at this point. Do 5 healers, we're gonna die to rot.
Yeah. But if it's a thing where like the DPS is good, but you know we maybe need just that little extra kick of healing, then we might go. But
If we need an extra kick of healing, it's not gonna work.
streaming a new trial at all? Yes, I will be.
By subbing in an additional
It doesn't
healer,
officially start
they won't know
until
that it's going to outscale the additional
first raid night, of course. We going from there. I'll be telling this guild next week that I'm leaving them.
And
But
use bandages.
yeah, it's next tier.
The DPS just does their job.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that like this is our last week of official raid in this guild, and I wanted to make sure that I committed to. You know, I told the new guild, hey, I'm committed to helping this guild through the end of the season. You know, and as soon as we have our dates for everything, I let them know. So I've been communicating with them. They're good with it. They've already got me added to the raid roster for their season 2 prep, so it's just a matter now of just time. So after the
Just a second.
so after the
You're good.
achievement run, I'll let them know that I'm leaving, and then I'll be leaving probably at the beginning of August
You did.
and going from there. But yeah, no, the only thing that's going to change is I'll be streaming a little bit earlier because they run East Coast times.
They're coming.
So I normally start stream at 6:30. I'll probably start closer to like 6:15 ish. And then I'll stream raid and then probably stream an hour after raid where I try to maybe knock out a key or 2 on those raid nights. And then this group is actually going to raid 3 nights a week early to just clear heroic quickly so that we can spend a lot more time in
I
myth,
said the farm controls the lightning.
which I'm down with.
I guess it's just
There was one time our guys were going to Minnesota for work, and the weather forecast called for 5 days of rain. And they're all, why the fuck are you sending us there? We're gonna sit in a hotel. I'm thinking, I said, don't worry, guys. I'm push the rain.
So yeah, I have to go a little bit earlier, but other than that, I'm good. That's only going to be on raid nights. I'll probably keep my same schedule on non-raid nights. And then the third raid day, at least early for the first couple of weeks of the season, that's going to be on Monday. And I'm still taking Monday as like my full night off.
Be raining on the street next to the practice field.
As one of my 2 full nights off that I'm going to try to stream off. And so I probably won't be streaming most of those Monday raids,
Have you seen the video?
at least the first 3 weeks, and then go from there.
But it was soccer, and it was pouring on one half of the field and completely dry on the other.
It sucks to be that team.
Right. The one goalie just having the worst day of his life, and the other one's like, huh,
The guy's like, hey, buddy.
nice cloudy day, a breeze.
Do what you can to keep the ball in the
Also, I love how there's investigation going on into potential cheating in a 23 Nexus point. I didn't realize it kicked you off like that.
Oh, Morphin's offline, huh?
Yeah, Morphin's offline.
Someone was. The thing was, this person logged their Mythic
Mighty
Plus
Muffin
runs and,
Power Ranger?
and uploaded them.
Power Ranger.
But apparently,
He sent me a
a
message.
GM was like one-shotting some of the mobs,
Good, you deserve that.
Yeah, I do deserve that.
like trying to like get it down to like within a million, so it looks like it's like a touch of death type range. But I mean, you don't touch a death in a million health on any character right now and kill them. We don't have that HP anymore, so it's just really, really funny to me.
I need some Megazord, but it's just a bunch of muffins to each other.
A bunch of muffins that are connected together into like a
Yep.
humanoid shape.
Cowboy, just take the melee group when you're killing. I know you're gonna probably breath both, but when you land, just focus on the melee group since you can land, so you can land closer to that. Off the boss, and I'll stick to the range group and off the damage.
Oh, see, I was gonna do Breath of Eons from the boss to the Fungling.
Oh, that's fine. You can just pick one. Whatever group you feel like between you and I will be. should be able to get it with the 2 tanks helping cleave. It should be enough damage overall. So whatever you were doing last time, we'll say it that way. Shit. Oh shit. I thought I fell rushed into the boss.
I saw that. That was
Scared the shit out of me. I'm gonna need that clipped. I don't know if I have the little Twitch clip that feature yet. Oh, fuck, Garrett. Misery going down. Trying to hit him. Did it again where it did my Fellblade thing, but didn't actually Fellblade you.
Center.
That looks like a Morris's pet on it. Yeah, just stack him up here. We'll have to kill him and just deal with it. I'll go out and kick the first one.
If we're gonna let the one explode, we can spirit like it. It's a really good defensive force.
Good job, thank you.
one walking away. On farm. Yeah. Drop down in the middle.
Need a kick. Yeah. Sam's AMZ now. Everyone personal now. Everyone personal now. Be mindful of your cleave. Be mindful of your pets. I know it's Pet AI and Blizzard, but Trimlings underneath, funglings. Misery's going down. Right by where the funglings are at, so go ahead, stand near there. If there's a melee out there, kick first, please. Coming out, side fungling. I got next. Alright, I'll kick next. It's alive still. Try to get those kind of along the sidewall here. Yep. This will be Zoosh and Muffins AMZs. All for it here in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop the AMZs. He's down quick. Nice job. Fucked up sequencing there. Should have trinketed, meted, and trinketed, vengeful retreated, then meted. Put a little room. Stun the trimlings, get out. Funglings, hit her down. This one.
Last round.
There's a melee out there. Kick that first, please.
Saku's up.
You got a fungling on lead. It's pretty close. Rip that out. Over. Whatever, res. Let's get Armor Slayer up.
Don't have one minute.
3 minutes.
I'll stay melee. I'll stay ranged.
I got it, lead. I got it.
Let him get it.
2 healers just went down.
Another 0.2 seconds, we would have killed it. I probably fucked this a little bit by vengeful outing and losing a little bit of damage there.
Miss dropping a shield there or something?
Yeah, I missed calling that. That's on me.
We were down at 4 DPS anyway.
Yeah, it was gonna be super tight.
Stop healing.
Take a break.
Yeah, let's die, res, take break, and go from there. Time is going. Take a break. Stretch, refresh, refill. Get back and we'll kill this sumbitch. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break myself, get away from this desk for a little bit because I've been at it for a while between job hunt and this, so
120.
I'll be back in like 7 or 8 minutes just to get away a little bit. We back. 2.5 minutes left in raid break. Look at that. All right. I should have ran ads before I went on break. This is stupid of me. Well, we still got a minute and a half, and then usually someone's late coming back from the break, so. Oh shit, did I? Says I have a new clip. Did I clip that? Did that thing actually get clipped? I gotta go look now. Let's see. Oh shit, apparently it did. I don't have to edit it and post it later. Okay, so I do have that feature on my channel. I didn't know if it was rolled out to everyone or not.
So if you hit Windows E, it'll pop up a folder on your computer.
That's gonna make life better for me, someone that does everything
All the way down
on my own.
to a C drive and a D drive. If you right click on the C drive and you say properties, it should have where to check C is back. It should have a little circle that shows up on the screen, and on that circle you can look. It tells you how much is used, how much is free. It'll have like a blue and a gray.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Windows 3.1. There you go. That's pretty funny. Yeah, see, it's all used. That's what you use for your operating system. That's when you don't have any space. So you need to get at least a 1 terabyte, which is going to cost you a little bit.
Black market. You can probably get it for a kidney and a big toe.
I do have 2 of each.
See, you're fine.
It doesn't have to be your kidney and toe.
That's true.
Oh my goodness.
Created a supervillain.
Could be farm skin.
Just waiting for Newall, Alec, and Muffin to get back.
Slayer is going to be harvesting organs.
Slayer, I gotta do some looking to see if your processor or motherboard will even support Windows 11. I don't know that it will.
Oh, okay.
There is a significant cut where it does not support the older boards, but I don't know where that is.
You can find out though.
Yeah, I just have to look it up. I just look up the processor, which you sent me a picture of, so I know what it is.
Okay.
See if it supports it or not.
Sam's just making things up.
I am not making things up. There is a feature that they specifically programmed into Windows that if your processor doesn't have it, it will not support Windows 11. Now, there may be workarounds on it, but that's the whole reason why I ended up building my computer to begin with.
Go ahead and someone has a piece. Go ahead and drop it.
Somewhere in this bag, please. There you go, folks. There you go.
talk to pot roast.
Okay, follow me here, because you said flounder, you know they're flat, right? So I'm imagining like a flounder pancake, got chips on it. That's
So
where
you
my
were
brain
looking
went.
in my window when I made it?
Oh,
The fuck?
that,
Stalker.
I let that slip.
I thought you were Slayer, not Stalker.
I should change it to K-Stalker.
Right?
Sam Farm, officer chat.
Maybe.
Check officer chat, Salmon Farm. I want to give it another pull or two, but I think we want to think about it.
If we do that, which we could, they have to be killed on the back leg of the boss. So the ones at the other head would be at the front of the boss, on top of the tanks, and then the other ones would be behind the boss on the thing, and then melee has to get both of those. So that's how that works.
I mean, we're melee heavy. We have, well, we're about even now, actually. We have a 4 melee.
Probably fat.
Okay, let's
Let's give it another pull or two and then see. But I'm thinking we should try that.
5 heals with this strat.
No, we're gonna potentially 5 heal and then just kill everything each time instead of setting funglings, and then we just have to let the one explode. But with a 5th healer and extra set of CDs, we should be able to live it a little bit more easily. And that gives any melee that gets it, myself, the 2 DKs, Monty, gives us a lot more DPS uptime on the boss too.
Maybe 5 heal with this strat, people would have to use defensive cooldowns less and be able to do more DPS. Just saying.
I know. Kick first. Bungling, stack them up. You're around on me, where I'm hanging. Stack 'em up.
Back over.
Yeah, right. Basically, where the circle's at, we want to stack them up there. Good one, bungling. I got killed a little early. It's fine. On me.
Doing Death Knight things.
Just doing Demon Hunter things, but yes.
always.
Sequencing wrong again. This spec. I love Havoc. I do. I'll say love. I really like Havoc. I do. So glad to be back to Warrior next patch, man. I think Warrior's the class that's kind of my home. first since I have a fun one.
You work for AMZ?
Should be Zucius. Zucian muffins. Stack up, Zucian muffin. Wizard down.
We got a fun one coming in a group.
Fun duel.
It's on. I don't know if it's on. There's one there. Still in group.
There's going to be one inside the green, so just be FYI on that. Bled and myself, go ahead and drop. I think I'm staying inside of it.
Back to health.
Splat.
All right. why that fell blade is bugging out like that. I'm wondering if I'm doing it too fast, and so it's registering that I'm doing it, but can't register the movement of everything. Wouldn't surprise me. I can't kick that from them.
I got it.
Name.
Some of you should be moving to the other boss. Okay.
I'll run your healers on that.
And get it, kick it.
Nope, that's not gonna work.
Available.
Stop here.
Type it.
Yeah, we'll try the other one. We're gonna change strat just a hair, but
Cowboy healing.
yeah, Cal has to go here. But in order to do this, if you have a flat cat mushroom on top of you, you have to stand on top of the tanks. You don't have a choice now. Doesn't matter if you're ranged. The mushrooms have to get in on tight on top of the boss, and the funglings have to be on the back leg of the boss, so that they die right there, so we can are able to switch quickly to them.
So to give you an example, if say we're tanking the boss where he's standing, the shroomlings need to basically be either right underneath him or just slightly in front of him.
They literally
The-
have to be right there.
The funglings would have to be back like 10 yards, roughly about here. And they have to be tight stacks in both cases. So what would, and then for the second four cap, we'll stick all the ranged. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll stick all the ranged on it. And we'll do a Cognition, Slayer, and New Wall kick rotation. And then melee, you guys would be responsible for kind of locking down and helping out with the funglings. Maybe after your kick is done, Cognition, if you'll swap to help kill the guys. And then once that guy's down, just clean up any shrooms that are left. This is going to give our melee way higher uptime. And with the 5th healer, we have... we're going to Spirit Link the first explosion. Harley. So we'll all get gathered up. We'll Spirit Link.
There shouldn't be a explosion though.
Well, there will be, because the second Sporling's going to just get spawned wherever he is in the room, and we're basically going to kill it and ignore it.
Yeah, well, somebody can go kill that one mushroom.
Well, no.
No. For this strat, you let it go off so that you can just get back on the boss. But you defensive the explosion. It's a very
Yeah,
important.
we'll use a combination of healer cooldowns. I can drop. We have 4 DKs, so we can spread darkness and at least 1 AMZ out. We can rewind the second one. Spirit Link should be back for the third. I think as long as we manage those effectively, it'll do that, and that'll give everyone more uptime on the boss as well.
Give me 1 minute.
So I think the way the healer cooldowns will work is that we'll have 2 tranks and an AM or a mastery. For when the shrooms spawn, we can Jor trank, probably Andrella trank the second one, and then Quick and AM the third one. And then when the explosions go off, we'll have Harley Spirit Link the first one, Cowboy, you rewind the second one, and we should have. Okay, and we can overlap a AM Trank on the first and third then, and then Andrella can handle the second one, Trank. And then, like I said, Harley should be able to get first and third explosions. Cowboy, you take the second with rewind. Anything more than that, we'll see what happens.
I'll Trank 1 and 3 and Potion second.
Explosions are on the slam, right?
Explosions are after the mushrooms pop.
Yeah, the explosion. Yeah, the healing cooldown explosions will be when we do the burn phase. The second jellyfish is gonna blow. So I'll try to call it, or if you can see the cast time, if it's like Spirit Link duration is what, 8 seconds?
It's the fungal bloom, right? That's when they explode.
Fungal Bloom is the knockback, and then they explode a little while later when their channel goes off.
Okay, yeah, because they'll all
6 seconds.
with
Okay.
with this strat, there'll always be one up. So
Okay. If you see one and it's like 3/4 of the way through the cast, once you group up, just drop it. It should be enough. Yeah, we'll have AMZs. We're still gonna do when the shrooms spawn. We're still gonna do Sam AMZ on the first. We'll have Zoosh AMZ the second, and then I think AMZ might be up for the third, so we can have Zoosh or Sam do the third, and then we can stack AMZ, two AMZs and a Darkness with the healer cooldown. So we'll have Lead and Harley combined. We'll do Spirit Link AMZ on the first explosion. I'll Darkness with Rewind, and then Spirit Link Mortis's Muffin's AMZ on the third one. So we're gonna stack some cooldowns here, and then your own personals, Hellstones, and health potions will do as well.
Thank you for the delay.
Where'd my music go?
Here we go.
I'll try to drop a marker where I want the Funglings killed, FYI. So Funglings on Star. Got Shroomlings inside the group. Make sure you take those into the boss, please. Funglings are on Star.
All the way on this swirling. Can't have them dying underneath the boss.
Are we killing the funglings now?
Yes, we're killing. Okay, we were a little too close there. That's on me.
Well, somebody killed one directly under the boss, and that's why. I mean, you have to get on top of the tanks. It was just standing there.
Those are the markers that we're playing with now.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, this strat rewards you not seeing your character. That's what you're afraid of.
range DPS worst nightmare.
Yeah, we just basically gotta blow them up as soon as we get them to the spot.
Yeah, you might need to hold DPS for a second right when they spawn till we get them kind of separated.
Yeah, just full single target the boss and then position yourself before doing that.
Or beat on the spot.
But yeah, Muffin, this should make it so that we can get faster uptime for everyone again.
Makes sense now.
Also, your parts doesn't matter if we don't kill the boss. So
Offspring wrote a song about this event.
You gotta keep us separated.
we need to get a key binding for these fucking marks, man. I think they don't allow them. Stars down for Funglings. Alright, all range DPS, you'll work on the thing. Cognition, Slayer, Nual is the kick order on that. Melee, you guys will have to help kill the second set of Funglings. Cognizant, if you'll be a backup in case one of the three of them cannot get it. Get a Fungling, come stand on star. I've got Chaos Nova for the stuns. Oh, we got it. Help it. I need with a get the Funglings. Get the Funglings down. Alright. So this is the first set of cooldowns. This is going to be Jord Trank and Sam after explosion. Sam, your AMZ goes down now. Your same groups for killing, by the way. Same groups for killing. Melee will take the
Spirit Link now is good.
Alright, a Spirit Link now. Nice job. Star down for Funglings.
One. Yeah, still out. There we go. Get them all in here.
I'm stunning these Funglings. We're good. Alright, same thing. All the range kick, Cog Slayer Nual, Cognition Slayer Nual. Way out in the back here. Alright, I've got a Shroomling, so I'll have to take this under if someone can help with Funglings from the melee group.
I got the first ones.
Okay, Cognizant, be ready to kick the third one. One can take seconds.
Keeping an eye on it.
Lost in between them. Get them down.
Okay. So when the Zeus, you're going to drop your AMZ, and Drella, you're going to trank after the explosion goes off. And same groups that you're killing. Drop it. Alright. Cowboy, once this blow goes off, rewind. I'm gonna darkness right behind the boss. Res Andrella or Newell. One of them.
Get them both. The 2 battle runs.
We have spare GCDs, rebuff them. Right here in this vine, it's a little gross.
In there.
Funglings on star again. Cowboy, you got Shrimpling underneath you. Sam, you got AMS or AMZ up?
Bots are up.
Got a Shrimpling, so I gotta get into the boss here. Works good next time out here with it. Alright, this will be Sam's AMZ. Alright, this explosion will have Spirit Link. We'll also need to I want everyone to personal this explosion. Alright, everyone personal now. Everyone personal now. Spirit Link go down inside the AMZ. Looking good. Kill him just to the left of that. Funglings here at Star. Slayer, you got Shrimpling under. Stuns are out on the Funglings. Get them out. Whoever res, let's get cognizant. Okay. Second set here. We're down 2 range. I'm gonna go out there and help. I'll kick first. Cognition takes second. Yeah, 4 down. I think the strat works. Let's go ahead and wipe it. Crank this up a smidge. Kick down the music.
That is so incredibly thoughtful.
I know.
Kayla disconnected.
Yeah, so I didn't want to fly.
You know, if you guys would all let me know where you live so I don't push the storms into your area, I would appreciate it.
I had a new personal best right there.
What was the boss at?
15.
It's not our best. Best is 7. But that's our, I mean, second pull, and that's the furthest we've gotten on with this strat. So I think it's there.
I gotta replace the counter shot macro you gave me because I was interrupting with it targeted and my interrupt went to some random fucking mob that wasn't even casting.
that seems damn silly now, doesn't it?
Also, you win marksman for this?
Me, no.
What's the image on it?
That's so weird. Why does it?
Yeah, I see the same thing on the details.
Yeah. But that's just a hunter bow. A marksman would have all the arrows, right? That's so weird.
Could be details didn't read spec, it just read class. So it just shows this class icon.
Weird.
You post anything in chat?
He posted in Discord that lightning killed power again.
Just like me.
Time to feed
We'll
the
give it a couple minutes. If
squirrels.
not, we'll.
Get the backup generator going.
Yeah, I thought about it when my power was out. It was out for like 5 to 10 seconds.
Whoa.
I know. It's like decades and years.
So scary.
Actually, how long did ants?
Oh, did you guys hear my phone go
If you
off
don't
there?
burn them with a microphone.
No.
Make calls.
My phone went off. Imminent danger. Flash
Oh.
flooding.
Well, you're inside. You're fine.
Yes.
Just don't open any doors. You're good.
Don't be flashing anyone.
Yeah.
Of danger.
Hey Monty, you can take the flash flood. You can enjoy that over there. You're just down the road, so.
And my phone went off a few polls ago, but it was just some silly little girl got kidnapped thing.
Ah,
Oh. That'll show your power down.
So there's a creator that has an absolutely insane McDonald's order that a bunch of people are trying to they're ordering it and they're trying to get through it like she does, and I think so far 90% of them have not finished the order because it is so stupid insane. I'll find it and I'll post it in pics and memes after raid.
Does she just order an amount of McDonald's? Because I don't think I can get through that either.
Yeah, and she allegedly eats this meal once a week. But it's the most dry thing, even for McDonald's, which is dry anyways. Give it another minute or two, and if you didn't get back on in Discord or anything like that, we'll boot him and keep pulling. We're gonna go to about 10:15. Actually, let me see if I can find it now. Find the McCrelly. YouTube.
Exactly. Farm, exactly.
That'd be my next tune's name. Like Farmer Amos.
It seems like Zen has peddled this false narrative that I've lied about the McCrelly. I'm going to let you know right now. You can clip this. This is the
Don't
McCrelly
choose
order
that.
with no changes, okay? It is a double quarter pounder with cheese, no ketchup, mustard, pickles, or onions, a large fry,
That is a
2
terrible
large
thing to
Diet
waste.
Cokes with extra ice, 20-piece chicken
Oh,
McNuggets,
wait.
no
Is that,
sauce,
This order is
2 chocolate
dumb,
chip
by the
cookies,
way.
That lettuce
1
that
large
farms
chocolate
Uranus?
shake, 1
Wait
Oreo
a minute now. It is. Would that make it the devil's lettuce?
It's so hard to see God.
Hey, Slayer.
Huh?
Huh?
Sorry.
We'll let him deal with this power thing. Probably gonna take a while. If power went out, there's a good chance his internet company is not in a good spot either.
Why don't you guys play with 9-volt batteries like I do?
Alright.
713 9-volt batteries strung in parallel. Runs the computer just fine.
Oh, you plug yours in? I got hamsters running on wheels.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, right. Good job, Meta.
About time I need a snack for those guys.
Like animal cookies?
We'll give them a carrot. We'll dangle it. That might make them run a little faster.
Can't feed the animals animal cookies. Cannibalism.
That's
is
cannibal animalism?
Cannibal animalism.
Can animal it is?
It's
Well,
Farm, let us know when you're ready.
Farm's never ready.
Give me a couple weeks.
You haven't even explained the fight to him today.
Yeah, give me an explanation of the fight, please. Just kidding.
Explanation of the fight today.
I'm
Yeah.
ready and semi-willing.
Hey, I sent you a pretty funny meme on in Messenger.
Described you to a
Odd,
T.
but I was pretty...
He only responds to my funny memes.
I do.
I meant farm.
I'm Slayer-centric.
Circle is that keybind. Never mind. Circle is where the funglings will go now.
Somebody.
Oh yeah, they got grouped in.
Goodbye, everybody. Next pull.
Later, Tater.
Ow.
So we Gorfiend there.
Yeah, Gorfiend.
Bad Sam. Bad.
Yeah, I moved up against the wall. I thought it was fine,
Bad.
but there was a
Bad.
fumbling underneath the legs. It was not good. I tried, and I fucked up.
I got one of them, but not the other one.
Found a keybind. Just set markers, and I accidentally set. I thought I set a star. I set a circle. So circle is now our main marker for this because I don't feel like changing it.
Why?
Oh, you just reminded me of an episode of The Tick where he was like talking to a bad guy
You
and
called me fat.
shaking his finger at him and going, bad, 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 bad. There, that ought to teach him.
Look at what? Ideally, one more pull, but if necessary, we'll take up to 3 to 4, depending on how long they're.
6 to
Oh
8.
my god, I think I just ran over a ninja. Well, it's not like it
Read
was a
both,
border
please.
collie or anything.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, I forgot my Phoenix oil. So probably
Good
put some at
go.
the top.
Those were funglings. I'll stun the funglings when the vines go out. Hopefully, we'll actually be able to kill this one. Right where the funglings are at.
Yeah.
I'll kick first. Here.
I have the thing plus the thing on me, so someone pull it back.
It's fun. It's fun.
Okay, so this will be Sam's AMZ and George Trank after it goes off. We should be able to get all of them here because from there, but we'll still Spirit Link it for safety.
Yeah, save Spirit Link.
Save it, yeah. We'll save it for the third one. Funglings are at the circle. Over the funglings when finds them. Usually. Range way in the back behind us there. Same kick rotation as we've had.
Get that
Harley, you have a fungling. If you bring that to circle, please. Thank you. Alright, should be Zushi's AMZ now. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that. That's a fuck up on my part. Alright, let's go ahead and rewind and to everyone defensive and then rewind. There's the healers. By vine, we'll kill it just in front of that vine. Funglings won't move that much. This one will Spirit Link, in Darkness, and Muffin. You should, I think, Muffin or Lead. One of you guys have your AMZs. We'll overlap your Heavy. Eventually, we could kill this Spore Cap too, but I still want to Spirit Link for the safety of it, especially since we're down a healer with no res. No on the Punglings. Get out with those.
Sorry, I kicked. I came out.
You're good. You're good. You're good. I got a kick on it. Alright, this will be Sam's AMZ. Everyone here, if you have it, Healthstone or Health Potion, whichever one you have. Alright, everyone gather up. Let's Spirit Link, Spirit Link, Spirit Link. Darkness is going down as well. Be one of those healers up when we get them.
2 minutes.
Got 2 minutes.
Already been shooting for 3.5 hours. I didn't even realize that.
It's way over here.
I think we probably need to wipe this. It's gonna be tough to meet the checks. Go ahead and wipe it and do one more pull for the night.
So basically, both strats get us to the same point.
But I mean, this strat is better for my DPS. So.
I think if we 4 heal with this strat, that gets us there better.
Okay. Let's try quick. Have a good night, Ewok. Thanks for stopping in. What's up, quick? Good EPS.
Well, let's not rush it.
I mean, it's the last pull of the night. We might as well try and see what we get out of it.
Yeah, we're at a point there with those pulls where like everything is going great until the raw damage stacks up so much that we crumble, and that's starting at around 30% health, so that's not enough for us to just like brute force it. Unless everybody's able to squeeze out another, 15 to 20% of their existing damage. Oh, I need to reload UI in 1 second.
Bungling stack on circle. All it works. Doom Stream went out. Alright. Okay. We'll give it one more since that went real full in my opinion.
That one was just practice.
Big fake pull.
Practice for the final last pull magic. Also, I'm pretty much at the bottom of the damage. Do you guys want me to just step out? 'Cause, like, give me that
One more pull, dude. It'll be fine.
could be the pull that makes you win. And farm doesn't care.
No cookies, no pull.
Yeah. I was gonna say if Cal. That's right.
Plus, if there's no warlocks, then who am I supposed to heal more than everyone else?
Hello. Hi.
You would don't have a contract.
Cal, I need you healing. I want the rewind. Better cooldown than better cooldown than AM.
Hunters probably don't even need healing because they have emotional support pets that make them feel better. Duh.
Our pets are the source of our frustration. What are you talking about?
That's possible.
Let him get his mana and then we'll pull timer.
This game. Hey, go attack the. What the fuck are you attacking over there? Nexus point, anyone? Attacking pointless bomb thing.
I mean, right now Blizzard's investigating a 23 Nexus point run that might have been GM cheated. They somehow one-shot a mob that had 18 million health left. It's like, yeah, no, that doesn't happen with anybody playing real.
Oh, they probably use pots.
Ready.
And Vantis runes. Sounds legit.
And they had all their enchants.
It's an emotional support dog.
Let's do those ads because we're probably going to be raiding out. So I'll probably go raid the Queen of Shura tonight. You want to get your wild lore education in. She's amazing for that. Those are on circle. Right next to it.
We lost Newell.
Where do you go?
Dropped off the line.
Storm took him.
It's funny because I was shit at getting the weather first. I haven't gotten shit. His internet company is not very reliable.
We'll have her safe serve.
Yep. Alright, this will be Sam's AMZ. Should be all right. Sushi's AMZ, Bella's drink after this set of ads is up. I'll go out and help with DPS since we're missing Noah. Take third kick is evil. Slayer's kick.
The shrooms are really close to the bun wins. Careful.
I'll take this one. Alright, Zeus AMZ, I'll lead a tank afterwards. Go on defensive, and then we'll rewind. Okay. Swipe it up, and we'll go again Thursday. Go ahead and set up the raid on Ashura. She's really the only other person streaming WoW that I can send over to.
Zeus wins.
Zeus just sold the rest.
Alright, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll either be
I
doing
didn't realize my mic was muted, so I was like, hey, Zeus talk for a second. But you didn't hear me
That's
say
why
that.
it was so quiet around here.
I'll either be doing some keys. I might be helping the next guild with like a heroic run, I believe, trying to get some AOCT's voice fire.
Again, Thursday's our last raid.
One of the two that we do.
Progression night of the week, or of this tier. Next week, we're going to work on the
Achievement run.
achievement run. So we do. After talking to people, there's not enough interest right now to do the MDI at the end of the season. I wanted to. We'll have to do it next season. Probably about the time the half patch is coming out, so probably do it then. So it's earlier in the season.
Good job, everyone. We'll get this guy Thursday. I feel good about it. Alright, let me go and start that raid. I appreciate everyone for hanging out with me tonight. All the support. I've got YouTube videos going up tomorrow and Thursday from PTR talking about Warrior. If you're curious about my more in-depth opinions on Warrior, you'll definitely get that. Otherwise, I will see everyone on tomorrow. So I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a wonderful night.
According to Rezune's orders, the massive infernal staging area is called Invasion Point Cataclysm, and it's nestled in the northern mountains. The only way to